Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. This update is so overdue, it's not even funny. And of course, the minute that I sit down to film it, finally sit down to film it, they start construction nearby. So I have my mic on with noise cancellation. I'm hoping that you can't hear it, but if you do, I apologize. I didn't want to keep y'all waiting any longer, especially since I feel like I owe so many of y'all this update. And I have other things planned that are going to be posted here pretty soon. And it was really important to me that I got this out first, and that the first thing that I post back here on YouTube is an update for the many of y'all who have joined my channel since my last video. So this is going to be the long-awaited, long-overdue update on my Dallas Cowboys Cheerleader audition vlog. If you haven't seen that one, I'm gonna try to link it up here and down in the description box so you can watch that one first and then come back here for the update. First, I want to say a huge thank you to all of y'all who have followed along on my journey since that video, for all of y'all who left such kind, encouraging comments. I think I have been really nervous to share my experience as a dancer, experience as a performing artist, my experience in doing pro dance auditions and all of the things that I have been doing. It can be really hard to put yourself out there online like that. And I kind of didn't know what to expect when I finally did it. And so many of y'all were so kind and encouraging and left the nicest, most beautiful comments on that video. So I want to wholeheartedly say thank you to all of you who did that, and for any of y'all who just watched it and silently supported or have followed me since then. I appreciate it so much. It really does mean so much to me as someone who has been a performer my whole life, but who is someone who is sometimes a little bit more reserved as far as what I share online. It's gonna be part of my update on what I share with y'all a bit later in this video. But truly, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and y'all made my day so many times seeing those comments and knowing that so many people were cheering me on who had never met me before. I appreciate you so much. So I think that it's only fair that I take the time to give you a proper update video, and this is why this video has taken precedence for me as far as timeline. This is really important to me that I put this one up first before I do anything else. I wanted to get an update video out for all of y'all who are so kind to support me. So as many of y'all probably sleuthed out via social media and down in the comments on that video, I unfortunately was not selected to move forward in my Dallas Cowboys cheer audition journey. Considering everything that I had gone through leading up to that point, I really would have loved to just make it to round 2. At that point in time, my goal truly was round 2. If I just made it to round 2, I would have felt like I succeeded in that audition. As a quick recap, I had just gotten out of my boot from breaking my foot only days before choreographing and filming my audition video. So I had been not even walking on that foot for 6 weeks and had quite literally just gotten out of my boot. I don't think that I necessarily was very forthcoming about how much pain I was actually in when I was filming that video and when I was going through my audition. Something like that has a lot of pressure involved to get the perfect take and submit the perfect video. And I was under a lot of stress to not only get the perfect video, but I was also very stressed because I knew that physically I didn't have a lot of takes to get it done because I physically wasn't able to keep going dance-wise. So there was a lot of pressure on me to get an extremely good take that I would be happy to submit pretty quickly. Like, I didn't have time to get halfway through my routine and be like, oh, I didn't like that. So all in all, while I would have loved to have made it to round 2, I am so incredibly proud of the audition that I was able to submit given my circumstances. There was a big part of me that was afraid that I was gonna go through this and not fully be happy with my audition tape because I didn't really have the luxury of continuing to film over and over and over again because my body couldn't handle it. So I am so proud of the fact that I was even happy with what I submitted and that I felt proud of what I submitted. And that to me is a win given the circumstances. Now, at the same time, as someone who had been prepping for my NFL auditions, I truly was prepping for Dolphins cheer, which I alluded to. I truly had been prepping for almost a year, I think about 9 months at that point, for Dolphins cheer. I do live in Florida, so That was my goal, but I was only 3 weeks into my broken foot at the time of Dolphins cheer auditions. So I had spent about 9 months prepping for Dolphins cheer auditions, broke my foot 3 weeks before the audition, and I did go audition in person for Dolphins cheer with a broken foot. I did get the approval of my orthopedist to do that, but I was only about 3.5 weeks in at that point, which is, it was fine. I made it through, but thinking back on how that felt, it is a very odd feeling it was the preliminary round, so I was basically improving on a broken foot, and just the feeling of dancing on a bone that isn't healed was a very unnerving experience, I would say. So as much as I would have loved for my audition journey this year to have gone very differently, there's a quote that I heard this year that has really resonated with me, and that is that you can't control the outcome, but you can control your output. And I do know that I did everything that I could have done on the output side of things. Unfortunately, I can't control something like breaking a bone. So all in all, I'm proud of everything that I did to lead me to this point. So I was planning on giving all this update much earlier than I did. I actually started filming a video. It was a vlog style video of how I reset pretty much immediately after I knew that I wasn't advancing to round 2. I had started filming this video. Ironically enough, I am a boutique owner, and there was something called the Boutique Summit in Dallas at the time of DCC finals. So I actually was in Dallas at the time of finals, but I was there for an educational opportunity for myself as a boutique owner. And life just got very hectic around this point because I was out of town for about 8 days. I've been making a lot of changes in my business, which I'm very excited about, and putting a lot of time and energy and effort into my business, which has been an amazing thing. And I'm so excited for the rest of our year. I'm so excited for our season to hit here in Florida. The summer is very slow, so I've been doing a lot of prep, doing a lot of back-end work, changing systems, new website, been doing live sales, so many things for my business that life got very hectic. And my plan was to essentially, after I knew that I wasn't moving forward with Dallas auditions, take about 2 weeks to properly heal, because mind you, even though I was in a boot, I knew that I was mid-audition season, so I hadn't ever given myself the proper opportunity to heal and the proper opportunity to rest or give myself even a mental break. So my plan was to give myself about 2 weeks of a mental break. I was filming this how I reset video, and then all of a sudden I ended up in Dallas for my business, then immediately hop into prepping for NBA and NHL auditions here in South Florida. While I thought that I had given myself time off, I really didn't. And while I thought that I had so much time in between those auditions to prep for NBA and NHL auditions, as I got into my prep, I knew very quickly that I was still not 100% and that I still wasn't where I would like to be headed into a season on a team. And at the same time, I don't know why this thought hadn't crossed my mind earlier, but it came to my attention that if I were to audition for another team and make it, I would not be able to participate in NFL auditions next spring because those seasons would run through the audition timeline for NFL. I don't know why this thought hadn't processed to me earlier in the year, but this was a revelation that I had when I was about to audition for another team. And given all the work that I had put in over the last year for NFL, and the fact that I didn't truly get to audition because I did audition with a broken foot, I knew that I wanted to give myself the opportunity to properly audition for NFL. I have auditioned for NBA and NHL teams in the past, and I have been able to go full force in those auditions, but I haven't been able to go full force in my Dolphins or the DCC audition in the way that I know that I could. And I knew in my heart that that is something that I wanted to be able to do. So I made the very difficult decision to not audition for any other teams this year and to give myself the opportunity to regroup and continue my prep for NFL teams and give myself a proper shot at Dolphins cheer next spring. And at the same time, give myself the opportunity to continue all of these strides that I am making in my business. I feel so blessed that I feel very rejuvenated in my business because we have so many new things happening. A brand new website, we are working on our online presence, and it's been very exciting for me. So I'm very excited to do these things, and it's nice to give myself a mental break. I don't know why there is a fly in here. It's like the minute I want to sit down and talk, it's like buzzing around my head. It's nice to give myself a mental break of not being in audition mode, because by the time that NBA and NHL auditions rolled around, I was in audition mode for a full year because I had actually decided after my NBA audition the year prior that I was going to try for NFL because I had never prepped for a team like that. And I felt like it really aligned with myself and my dance background and the way that I present myself. I felt like a team like Dolphins Cheer or NFL would be something that could be really good for me and really aligned with who I am already as a person. And so I had made that decision a year ago. So I had been in audition mode, like head down audition mode, solely focused on that outside of my business, but as an artist, solely focused on my pro dance auditions for a year. And it feels really good to give myself a little bit of a proper mental break. I truly do feel very excited for what is to come the rest of this year, even without having fulfilled my dream of being on a pro dance team. I'm very blessed that I have a business that I can pour my energy into and that I have artistic endeavors outside of dancing. I'm also an agency represented actress, and they represent me for dance jobs as well, but I do act in commercials and TV film. And I was able to spend almost a week on set just in the last couple of weeks, and it was a really great experience. I hadn't been able to be on set much this past commercial season because I was either booked out for my dance auditions or I was out because I was in a boot, and I don't think that they want a girl in a boot for a commercial. So I wasn't able to work much this past year with my agents, and it felt really good to be back on set, and you get to meet so many incredible people. So it's very exciting to me to be able to dive in and fill my cup back up with the other things that I'm very passionate about, while also knowing that I can still prep for NFL, I can still see my new friends in dance classes and keep going. Throughout this process, I've also realized that there is a piece of my artistry that is very important to me that I haven't pursued much in recent years. If you've been around for a very long time, then you would know that I also sing, and I have recorded music in the past. I've released music on iTunes and Spotify. I used a stage name. It was a few years ago. I am definitely going to be rebranding in that sense, but music is something that I will always want to do. And I think in the past month or so, I've really sat with myself and considered what it is that I really want and what it is that I will always want to do. And I realized that no matter where I am in life, my business could be booming. I could gain 1 million subscribers here on YouTube. I could gain 1 million followers on Instagram. And the thing that I will always want to do is be creative and express my art through music and dance and acting and video content. And something that I've realized that I've always had a passion for and have dabbled in but haven't totally dived into is making music and music videos and music dance content. So surprise, you can expect a lot more of that on my channel. And I have a project that is coming probably next week. So it feels really good to just kind of admit that that is truly where my heart lies, no matter what, no matter where life takes me. That's something that I'm always going to want to do. And I feel very blessed to have an outlet where I can share that. And I think I've been a little bit nervous and hesitant to share that in the past. Even though I've dabbled in it a bit, I haven't done it so much in recent years. And I've decided to just get over the fear and just do it. And I'm really excited to kind of just own that side of myself and share it with all of you. So with that said, thank you all so much for investing in my journey, and I can't wait to hopefully continue to inspire and entertain you through my artistry or my fashion and beauty content, you can expect a lot more content up here. I hope that y'all will hang around and stay on this journey with me for the rest of this year while I navigate my prep for next year's pro dance auditions, while also just filling my cup back up with my own artistry and my business. Thank you again so much for all of your kind words, and I'll see you in the next one.